Happy Christmas Eve! I'm here to talk to you about medication, and I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but don't worry, I'm not here to bang on the drum to say you must do it. There are other alternatives, clearly, but I was really struggling quite badly with life, and I needed some help. And this is helping me. So I'm currently in week 3 of taking Ritalin. I started on a small dose of 30 milligrams, which is what they typically start you on. About a week and a half into taking that, which is quite normal, it started to not have the same effect. It was only lasting maybe 3 or 4 hours. And then the day before I had my med increase, it didn't work at all. I felt like the worst I've ever felt when I didn't have medication. And so because I was on the meds initially, and I started to realise that they were starting to not have the same effect as what they did when I first started taking them, I contacted my psychiatrist. And that's something I'd never have done, never, before the meds, because I don't like making contact with anyone. I don't like making phone calls, which is really weird because I have a legal training business. But there you go. But I contacted them, and they gave me a new prescription for 40 milligrams, which I started on Tuesday this week. So what is it now? It's Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. So I've been on the dose about 4 or 5 days, and it's working again. It's working again. There are side effects. I do have some anxiety in the morning. I think that's either because the drug has worn off or the side effect of the drug, possibly. I also have a bit dry mouth, which I do need to make sure I have a drink when I'm on my Zoom calls. And I'm managing things like my stomach, because it can affect your stomach. So Rennie is really good. So if you've got any kind of like stomach problems, I'm not paying, so you probably want to take some paracetamol, but if you've got any kind of like sicky feeling, rumbling feeling, Rennie's really worked for me. But I also wanted to let you know that I had a mini crisis yesterday, and I live in Guernsey, and my parents live we call it the mainland here in Guernsey. They live on the mainland, so they live in the UK. So my dad's quite poorly at the moment, and my mum is doing everything. So she's looking after my dad, and she's doing the shopping, and it's been icy, and she's got a dog, and Hetty's 2, and she's super crazy because she's a cockapoo. And she accidentally tripped my mum up yesterday, and my mum fell over, and she cracked her head open quite badly. She had to have it glued back together, and also she broke her wrist. But the worst thing, my poor dad, God, because he couldn't do anything, because he's not able to do anything at the moment. She lay in the rain, screaming for help for 10 minutes, and that really destroyed my dad a little bit. Poor little love. So I'm hundreds of miles away. I'm a plane away. I'm a boat away. And if I hadn't been on this medication, I can pretty much tell you I'd have fallen apart. I don't do well in a crisis, which is really funny because I was a police officer. But when it's not my crisis and it's someone else's crisis, I can deal with that, no problem. But when it's my own, oh my God, my poor little brain goes, no, let's just stop that. Being on this medication, I felt those emotions. I felt those, oh my God, what's upset, guilt that I can't be there because my brother's having to manage it. I had all those same emotions, but I didn't have the overwhelm. And I still need to go out and clear my head. I walk the dogs. I still rung them, text them as much as I needed to. But there was no, like, when I get overwhelmed in crises like this, because it happened to me in the summer with my dad and I wasn't on my medication, I wasn't able to function. I was snapping at my child, I was snapping at my husband, they were trying to help me, and I was just so, like, my brain, I don't know if you have this, but it was just so many thoughts going around in it at the same time, anxiety building, because I get anxiety anyway, and I just couldn't deal with questions. I couldn't, even like, what would you like for dinner? Pfft, no chance. But meds have really helped with that. And yes, I did wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning with some really bad anxiety, and that's probably a knock-on effect from everything that did happen yesterday. But I'm pleased that I stayed calm, stayed focused, and I was able to support my dad. So I was able to ring him and say to him, you know, what can I do? And, you know, he just needed someone to talk to, and I was able to absorb that and be able to be practical and able to help him and support him. So, you know, for me, Ritalin medication is really helping me to do things that at 47 I've not been able to do in my entire life. So yeah, that's that. But all good news, mum's home, a bit worse for wear, bit sore. Poor little love had to have her wrist like cracked back into place. Oh my god, that must have been so painful. But I plan to go over in January, probably the first week if I can, just to support them and help them, really. And that's great, because again, I'd be like, I can't do that, oh my god, I've got to get on a plane, I've got to get on a train, I've got to do all my mum and dad. I don't have that now. So, but my psychiatrist has said I might still need another up of my dose. So if that does happen, I will let you know, because you know, there was nothing really out there that I could find that would go through this journey of taking meds. So actually, if you go to YouTube and you put in BD business ADHD, I have started a YouTube channel, and it does chart my first few days with taking Ritalin, so it gives you some idea of what to look out for in yourself when you if you ever take it. So yeah, right, have a lovely day, Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas, I'll see you later, bye bye.